Right, hello and welcome. My name is Oliver Bain. I'll be just delivering my Mount Buller field work plan for EUB305 HAS curriculum studies. So just to give you a general outline and the fieldwork context, the location is in reference to Manfield State School, located just a 45-minute drive from the plateau. It offers an efficient and safe round trip. So the problem to be investigated during the fieldwork will aim to have students to identify any possible conflicts between humans and a natural landscape. This links directly to the geographical concepts of place, cause and effect, continuity and change, and rights and responsibilities. All of these geographical concepts have been carefully integrated into the fieldwork activities. Sustainability as a cross-curriculum platform will tie in the concepts and play a large part in the final geography lesson, which is the elaborate and evaluate phases. I believe that the fact that a range of geographical concepts such as these are able to be explored at this site and in one single day is of great value to the students in developing their understanding of geography. So in terms of how this is going to be conducted, this fieldwork will be conducted as a whole class, and each activity will be in group format to promote a range of data and findings. To begin the fieldwork, the students will be welcomed by an environmental officer who will brief them and give them an idea on what they can expect to see throughout the day to help them with their activities. From here, the students will remain together as a class and then conduct a class field sketch of the bottom of Burke Street's ski run. This is a familiar setting to them as it would have been covered in the engage phase. So after the sketching is finished, the students will break up into their already organised groups to carry out the activities chosen to address a range of these geographical concepts. So this is the first resource that they'll be using for that first activity. It's just an interview process where they'll be going to 5 different locations around the mountain, and these are the interview questions that they'll be using. How often do people come to work here? How many people do you work with? How do you travel here? What is your main job? And how many people work in the resort? After that, they'll then move to this second data collection activity, which is just a 5-column table, just tallying how people come and go from these 5 key areas, being Burke Street chairlift, Burke Street ski run, entering the village plaza, entering the Magic Forest walk, and vehicles arriving in the plaza. Once that data is collected, they'll then return back to the classroom for the evaluate and elaborate phase to then create graphs to represent this data accurately. In terms of the resources being used throughout the day, we've got here a contour map of the Mount Buller village and the skiable terrain. All that's left to do from this point is to annotate it with a legend and a title of the map, which the students will do. For this, it's going to be used during the orienteering activity, and the teacher is to engage with the students to help them realise what contours really feel like beneath your feet. This is to help the students understand and gather a tangible connection between the concept of place. So this is just going to be a Mount Buller not a field map, it's a trail map that they'll be using to basically for their own reference. There's no specific activity. It's just to assist the students in identifying the relationships between natural and man-made features. So just jumping backwards to the pre-field work exercise very quickly, they'll be making a Google Earth connection. So I'll just get that up for you and show you how they'll be using that. So just here, students are going to be able to interact with this and actually have a much clearer understanding of where they'll be going and what it's going to look like. And this is, as you can see, very similar to the contour map. The actual activity for this pre-fieldwork exercise is that they're just going to actually draw a contour map based off these peaks and valleys, and then they'll just label it from there. From there, the second data collection activity will be this snow forecast, where they'll learn to actually create graphs. They'll be using the data represented here, either rainfall or snow, maximum, minimum temperatures, humidity, and freezing level. And here you can actually see that there's a line graph example for the students to take example of when they're creating their own graphs. So just go back to the PowerPoint here. So when we're talking about the actual curriculum links, there's 2 main strands, questioning and researching. where you develop appropriate questions to guide an inquiry about people, events, developments, places, systems, and challenges. Researching is locate and collect relevant information from data from primary sources and secondary sources, organise and represent data in a range of formats, including tables, graphs, and a large and small scale maps, using discipline-appropriate conventions. The geography content descriptors for knowledge and understanding are the environmental and human influences on location and characteristics of a place and the management of spaces within them. The inquiry questions, as you see below, are how do people and environments influence one another? How do people influence the human characteristics of places and the management of spaces within them? And how can the impact of bushfires or floods on people and places be reduced? So with general capabilities, numeracy is being addressed through data and collection activities, literacy through annotations of field sketches and map reading, as well as interview responses. ICT will be used during digital devices for photography in the final activity, where they'll be encouraged to take pictures. The critical and creative thinking is responding to inquiry questions to make connections geographical and concepts of place, environment, interconnection, change, and sustainability. In terms of the actual geographical concepts, when emphasising these, the concept of place, a number of activities throughout the day plays to this. From the very beginning of when the students arrive, they are immediately given an idea of this concept. Even before the students arrive at the site, being locals themselves, they understand the significance of the mountain itself and its respective weather systems. And as you can see here, these are the other ones here: environment, space, change and interconnection, as well as sustainability being overarching concept. So post fieldwork, these are the activities: the evaluate and elaborate phase, the photograph, annotations, research and environmental management policies and questionnaire for the summative assessment. Inquiry questions for this research task are just below. Is there a common issue? Does Mount Buller use a range of management techniques? And is wildlife cared for appropriately? So in conclusion, I believe everything covered here addresses the achievement standard as per the Australian curriculum. The professional plan presents a comprehensive and complete fieldwork outline to accurately address key geographical concepts and, most importantly, a strong connection with the concept of place. Thank you very much.